Hi there, everyone. It's Gloria with Glory Be Resale, and I'm here to do a quick what sold from July 7th to the 20th. And let's get started. This will be on eBay, Poshmark, and Etsy. The first thing to sell was this 1980s vintage Liz Sport pullover sweater, and this sold for $14, and the cost to me on it was $2.50. The next item to sell was this lot of 9 Proline Merino wool 7-inch rollers, and these sold for $40. The cost to me on them was $2.50. I bought a big box. For $5 at a yard sale, and I still have another lot of 9 for sale. The next item to sell was this Victoria's Secret pink uh, ruche dress, and this one sold for $21, and the cost to me was $6.49. This was new with tags. I've had it a long time, back when pink was still very popular, and so happy to see it go. Next item to sell was this Cabela's outdoor gear, and this was a down vest, and this sold for $23.50, and the cost to me was $6.49. The next item to sell was this Notre Dame Fighting Irish new with tags t-shirt. This sold for $29, and the cost to me on it was $5.99. Next item to sell was this soft surroundings Lagen look linen blend top, and I picked this up for myself. I thought I might like it and try it. I did not. So I sold this. I took an offer of $18, and the cost to me on it was $5.99. The next item to sell was this 1990s flag vest, and this sold for $28, and the cost to me on it was $4.99. Next item to sell was this Moda International Women's beige linen cardigan sweater, and this sold for $15, and the cost to me was $3. Next item to sell was this NF purple sequined festival dress, and this one sold for $25. Cost to me was $3.25. Next item to sell was this antique wood wall medicine cabinet, and this sold for $268, and the cost to me was $25. And I feel like this didn't take all that long to sell. I had it a long time, didn't put it up because of its size, and then I finally just said, do it, and it sold, and for a good price. So don't hang on to those things. Next item is this Christopher Banks multicolor floral dress skirt, and this sold. I took an offer of $15, and the cost to me on it was $4.99. Some of these items I just wanted to make sales, so I sold some items cheaply because July everybody goes on vacation. I find it to be slow, and sometimes I just want to make sales. The next item to sell is this sassy uh, embroidered denim jacket, and this sold for what did it sell for? Denim jacket sold for $27.50, and the cost to me was $5.99. Oh, now over to Poshmark. First thing to sell was this vintage Home Co. Hollywood Regency shelf, and this sold for $45. The cost to me was $7. The next item to sell was this Capo di Monte style large porcelain rose candle holder, and this sold for $17. Cost to me was $2. The next item to sell was this Cynthia Rowley Kelly Green 100% linen dress. And this, I took an offer of $20. Cost to me was $6.49. It was new with tags. I didn't want to wait any longer because it's a summer dress. I don't want it for winter. Next item to sell was this LL Bean 100% linen blue Mandarin collar blouse, and I took an offer of $15 on this. Cost to me on it was $5.99. Next item to sell was this Peaches Uniform Disney scrub tops, a set of two of them, and these sold for $29. Cost to me on them was $2.50. Next item to sell was this Massimo Dutti cream wrapped midi skirt linen blend, and this sold for $90. The cost to me on it was $9.99. The next item to sell was this Lauren Scott uh, embroidered blouse, and this sold for $15. Cost to me on it was $2.50. And if you wouldn't mind, I'd really appreciate a like and subscribe. Make doing these videos worthwhile. Next item to sell is this J. Crew red and white striped hoodie sweatshirt, and this sold for $16. Cost to me on it was $0. This is something I bought at a thrift store many years ago. I wore it for many years, and then I resold it on here for $16 pretty quickly. Next item to sell was this vintage John Blair um, menswear sweater, vintage. And this sold for $37. Cost to me on it was $5.99. Next item to sell was this vintage Lauren Brooke floral embroidered denim sleeveless top, and this sold for $20. Cost to me on it was $1.50. Next item to sell was this cool pink hiking shorts, outdoor shorts, and these sold for $14. The cost to me on them was $3. Next item to sell was this Lululemon Asana jacket. This sold for $38. Cost to me on it was $6.49. The next item to sell was this Michael Kors basket weave white leather belt. This sold for $25. Cost to me was $2.99. Now over to Etsy. And on Etsy, the first thing to sell was this vintage wood cubby box that I picked up at a yard sale. I paid $1 and this sold for $39. Next item to sell was this bowl that I took a loss on. This was listed when I had somebody helping me, and they were taking the cost of goods for the item that I put in and putting it as the sale price on the item, and I missed this one. It managed to get through, and it sold for $3.99. And so I took a loss of, I don't know, $2 to $3 on this bowl. So that's all right. It could have been worse. It could have been a better item. I'm glad it was just this bowl. The next item to sell was this unique hand-turned wooden bowl with the live edge burl. And this I bought at the antique mall near me for $14, and this sold for $59. The next item to sell was this pair of Chinese Jingdens, Ding, Jingdezhen blue white porcelain dish. I still don't know if I'm saying that right, but that's all right. They were two little bowls there with a little gold stand to hold them. And these I bought at an estate sale for $2.50 and sold them on Etsy for $22. Next item to sell was this vintage wood coffee mug rack. Um, this you assume was sold with coffee mugs back in the 70s, and I just got the box at a yard sale for $1 and sold it on Etsy for $24. Next item to sell was this green control bubbles glass paperweight, and this sold for $55. Cost to me on it was $10. Next item to sell was this antique 1800s wood paint bucket, and this sold for $165. Cost to me on it was $25. Next item to sell was this Pier 1 vintage cat mouse teapot, and this was not a good buy for me. I bought this locally at one of the malls for $14, and there was a whole bunch of these for sale. So I put it up for $28 just to turn it over quickly and get my money back. And I did turn it over quickly. Um, Sold it for $28, so I made a few dollars, but when you're spending $14, you want to make more than that. But sometimes that's just the way it goes. You make a mistake, you try to get rid of it quick. Next item was also something that I would not buy again. These are Oneida Community flatware, silver-plated flatware, and these I bought for $12. And these also just are not a great sell of the community um, section of Oneida's flatware. And so I paid $12 for them. I put them up for $37, and they did sell fairly quickly. So, I mean, it wasn't um, a terrible sale. I still made 3 times what I bought them for. So, and I did it quickly. I just kept it low so that I could get rid of them again and get my money back and put it somewhere else. And that is everything that was sold from July on these 3 platforms from July 7th to the 20th. I hope that you have been having great sales, and if you're not, all you can do is just keep listing and get the inventory ready for when Q4 comes along. And good luck with all your sales, and thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and I will see you later. Bye.